Elon Musk discovers a pregnant woman begging for food. His next move is unbelievable. It was a chilly evening in downtown Los Angeles, and the streets were alive with the hum of traffic and hurried footsteps. Elon Musk, fresh from a long day of meetings, was driving through the city in his electric Tesla. His mind was preoccupied with upcoming projects, rockets to launch, cars to build, and innovations to unveil. But as he approached an intersection, something unusual caught his eye. Standing on the corner was a visibly pregnant woman holding a cardboard sign that read, "Pregnant and hungry. Please help." Her clothes were clean but worn, her face pale and tired, yet her eyes carried a quiet strength. Unlike others who waved their signs or shouted for attention, she stood silently, meeting the gaze of each passing driver with dignity. The light turned green, and Elon's car began to move forward. But then, without warning, he spoke. "Stop." His driver pulled over to the curb. For a moment, Elon sat there, unsure why he had stopped. He had meetings tomorrow, deadlines to meet. He didn't have time for distractions. Yet something about the woman compelled him. With a sigh, he rolled down his window. "Hello," he said simply. The woman approached cautiously, keeping a safe distance from the car. "Hi," she replied softly. "My name is Marissa." A meal that sparked hope. The diner was quiet that evening, its retro booze and faded neon lights offering a warm, nostalgic refuge from the bustling streets of Los Angeles. Elon Musk and Marissa stepped inside, the faint hum of a jukebox playing an old tune in the background. For Marissa, this was a rare moment of respite, a chance to sit down and eat without worrying about how to pay for it. For Elon, it was an opportunity to learn more about the woman whose cardboard sign had stopped him in his tracks. They slid into a booth by the window, the soft glow of streetlights outside casting shadows across their table. Marissa sat with her back straight, her hands folded neatly on the table, a gesture that spoke volumes about her character. Despite her circumstances, she carried herself with dignity and composure. Elon noticed how she scanned the room cautiously, as if expecting someone to tell her she didn't belong there. "Order whatever you'd like," Elon said, handing her a menu. Marissa hesitated, glancing at him nervously. "I don't want to take advantage," she said softly. "You're not," Elon replied firmly. "You're my guest." After a moment's pause, Marissa opened the menu and ordered a grilled cheese sandwich and a cup of tomato soup. But before the waitress left, she asked for a to-go box, a clear sign that she planned to save part of her meal for later. Elon observed this quietly, his mind already racing with thoughts about how he could help her beyond this one meal. Breaking the ice. As they waited for their food, Elon leaned forward slightly. "So," he began, "tell me about yourself." Marissa hesitated but eventually started speaking. She explained how she had grown up in Chicago and studied computer science at a state university. After graduating, she landed a job as a software developer specializing in artificial intelligence applications. Her career was promising. She loved her work and was proud of what she had achieved. But then everything changed, she said, her voice faltering. "My husband Daniel, he got sick." Elon listened intently as Marissa described how Daniel, a veteran, had been diagnosed with a rare illness 2 years ago. The medical bills piled up quickly, draining their savings and forcing them to sell their home. "I tried to keep working while taking care of him," Marissa continued, "but it became too much. After he passed away last year." She paused, taking a deep breath to steady herself. "I couldn't keep up with anything. My job, the bills, everything just fell apart." Elon nodded silently, giving her space to share her story without interruption. "I've been trying to find work again," Marissa added after a moment. "But it's hard when you don't have an address or reliable childcare, or even a laptop." She looked down at her hands folded on the table. "I never thought I'd end up here." Food arrives, and so does hope. When their food arrived, Marissa's eyes lit up at the sight of the steaming soup and golden brown sandwich. She thanked the waitress quietly and took small bites, savoring each one as if it were her first proper meal in days. Elon noticed how carefully she ate, how she seemed determined not to waste even a crumb. It wasn't just about hunger, it was about survival. "You mentioned you're a software developer," Elon said after taking a bite of his own sandwich. "What languages do you know?" Marissa looked up, surprised by the question. "Python, Java, C++, she replied cautiously. "I specialized in machine learning algorithms." Elon raised an eyebrow. impressed despite himself. That's not exactly beginner-level stuff, he said with a faint smile. Marissa shrugged modestly. I loved what I did, she admitted. But now, I don't even know where to start again. A conversation that changed everything. As they continued talking, Elon began asking more detailed questions about Marissa's skills and experience. Questions that revealed just how knowledgeable and capable she was despite her current circumstances. What kind of projects did you work on, he asked. Marissa hesitated before answering. Mostly AI applications for healthcare systems, she said finally. We developed algorithms to predict patient outcomes based on medical data. Elon leaned back in his seat thoughtfully. He knew talent when he saw it, and Marissa clearly had it in spades. But what struck him even more was her resilience. Despite everything she had been through, she hadn't given up on herself or her dreams. You know, Elon said after a pause, there are companies out there that would kill for someone with your skill set. Marissa gave him a skeptical look. Not someone who's been living in their car for 6 months, she said bluntly. Elon smiled faintly at her honesty, but didn't argue. A moment of connection. For Elon Musk, a man known for his relentless drive to innovate, the encounter with Marissa was more than just an act of kindness. It was an opportunity to make an extraordinary difference in someone's life. He thought about his own journey, the challenges he faced when building Tesla and SpaceX, and how important it was to have people believe in him during moments of doubt. You're stronger than you think, Elon said softly after a few moments of silence. Marissa looked up at him, her eyes red but filled with determination. For the first time in months, she felt something unfamiliar yet comforting. Hope. The spark of change. As they left the diner that evening, Marissa clutched Elon's business card tightly in her hand, a lifeline that promised not just survival, but the possibility of rebuilding everything she had lost. For Elon Musk, a man who had spent years pushing boundaries in technology, it was clear that sometimes the most meaningful innovations weren't found in labs or boardrooms, but in moments like these. Moments where compassion met opportunity and sparked something extraordinary. And so began one of the most heartwarming stories of resilience and redemption, a story that would inspire millions around the world. An unbelievable offer. The diner was quiet, its retro booths bathed in the soft glow of overhead lighting. Elon Musk sat across from Marissa, the pregnant woman whose story had captivated him. Her tale of resilience and loss had stirred something deep within him, a sense of urgency to do more than just listen. As their conversation unfolded, Elon realized that this wasn't just about helping someone in need. It was about recognizing potential where others might see only hardship. What he was about to do next would forever change Marissa's life, in his own perspective. A turning point. Elon leaned forward slightly, his gaze steady and serious. Marissa, he began, I want to help you. Not just with food or money, but with something more permanent. Marissa blinked in surprise, unsure of what he meant. What do you mean? She asked cautiously. I mean giving you an opportunity, Elon replied simply. You said you're a software developer, right? You know Python, Java, C++. Those are valuable skills. I think you can use them to rebuild your life. Marissa stared at him, her expression a mix of hope and disbelief. Was this real? Was the man sitting across from her, the billionaire entrepreneur who had revolutionized industries, actually offering her a lifeline? I don't understand, she stammered. Why would you do this for me? Elon smiled faintly, his voice calm but filled with conviction. Because I believe in potential, he said firmly. And I see it in you. The business card. Elon reached into his pocket and pulled out a sleek black business card with his name embossed in silver letters, Elon Musk. He slid it across the table toward Marissa. Call me tomorrow, he said. I'll arrange for you to meet with one of my teams at Tesla or SpaceX, whichever fits your skills better. We'll figure out how to get you started. Marissa stared at the card as if it were a golden ticket from some fantastical storybook. Her hands trembled as she picked it up, running her fingers over the embossed letters. You're serious? She asked, her voice barely above a whisper. Dead serious, Elon replied firmly. But this isn't charity, Marissa. You'll have to work hard, harder than you've ever worked before. Are you ready for that? Marissa nodded quickly, tears welling up in her eyes. Yes, she said emphatically. Yes, I'm ready. More than an offer. But Elon wasn't finished yet. He leaned back in his seat and added something that made Marissa's breath catch. There's something else I'd like to do. Marissa tilted her head, confused but curious. I want to make sure your kids are taken care of while you get back on your feet, Elon explained. We'll cover temporary housing near whichever office you end up working at and arrange for childcare so you can focus on your job. At this point, Marissa couldn't hold back her tears any longer. She covered her face with her hands as sobs racked her body. For months, she had been fighting to survive, scraping together meals for her children, sleeping in their car when they couldn't afford a motel room. And now someone was offering not just help but hope. A moment of reflection. Elon watched silently as Marissa composed herself, wiping away her tears and clutching the business card tightly in her hand. He didn't see her as just someone in need. He saw her as someone who deserved a chance to prove herself and rebuild the life she had lost. For Elon, this wasn't just about generosity. It was about recognizing talent where others might overlook it. He thought back to his own journey, the challenges he had faced when building Tesla and SpaceX, and how important it was to have people believe in him during those moments of doubt. You're stronger than you think, Elon said softly after a few moments of silence. Marissa looked up at him, her eyes red but filled with determination. Thank you, she whispered. I won't let you down. The next steps. The next morning, Marissa woke up feeling something she hadn't felt in months: optimism. Clutching Elon's business card like a lifeline, she made the call that would change everything. True to his word, Elon had already arranged for Marissa to meet with Tesla's HR team that same afternoon. When she arrived at the sleek Tesla offices dressed in borrowed clothes from a neighbor at the motel, she felt completely out of place among the polished professionals bustling around her. But as soon as she sat down for her interview, something shifted inside her. The questions they asked about programming languages and problem-solving were familiar territory, things she could answer without hesitation because they were part of who she was before everything fell apart. By the end of the interview process, Tesla's hiring manager was thoroughly impressed. You've got talent, he told her with a smile. We'd be lucky to have you on our team. Within days, Marissa received an official job offer from Tesla, a full-time position as part of their software development team working on AI systems for autonomous vehicles. A home for her family. While Marissa prepared to start her new job, Elon's team worked behind the scenes to secure temporary housing for her family near Tesla's headquarters in Palo Alto. They found a modest but comfortable apartment and stocked it with essentials, from furniture to groceries, so Marissa and her children could settle in without worrying about immediate expenses. When Marissa walked into their new home for the first time with Zara, Leo, and baby Tyler by her side, she broke down in tears once again, but this time they were tears of gratitude. For Zara and Leo, who had been too young to fully understand why their lives had changed so drastically over the past year, the apartment felt like magic, a safe place where they could finally play without fear or hunger. For Marissa, it was more than just shelter, it was a fresh start. The ripple effect. News of Elon Musk's unexpected act of kindness quickly spread across social media and news outlets worldwide, moving millions who heard about how one moment of compassion had transformed someone's life forever. For Marissa and her children, life became brighter than ever imagined possible, and while they thrived, they never forgot how one person saw past their struggles and believed in their potential. The lesson: this story isn't just about generosity. It's about recognizing potential where others see only hardship. It reminds us that sometimes all people need is someone willing to listen and believe in them when they can't believe in themselves. And perhaps most importantly, it shows us that even small moments can spark extraordinary change when kindness meets opportunity. A new beginning. The morning sunlight streamed through the windows of Marissa's modest new apartment, illuminating the faces of her 3 children as they played together on the living room floor. For the first time in months, Marissa felt a sense of stability, a feeling she thought she had lost forever. The apartment wasn't extravagant, but it was warm, safe, and filled with everything her family needed to start over. It was a gift made possible by Elon Musk's unbelievable offer and the opportunity he had given her to rebuild her life. Today was a big day. It was Marissa's first day at Tesla. A fresh start. Marissa stood in front of the mirror, adjusting her blazer nervously. The clothes were new, purchased with an advance from her first paycheck, and they made her feel confident but slightly out of place. She had spent weeks preparing for this moment, studying coding concepts she hadn't touched in years, brushing up on artificial intelligence applications, and practicing interview questions that had once been second nature to her. Her children watched her from the doorway, their eyes wide with curiosity. Zara, her eldest daughter, smiled and said, "Mommy, you look like a superhero." Marissa laughed softly and knelt down to hug them all. "I'm doing this for you," she whispered. "Everything is going to get better now." With a deep breath, she grabbed her laptop bag, another gift from Elon's team, and stepped out the door, walking into Tesla. The sleek Tesla headquarters in Palo Alto was a world away from the life Marissa had been living just weeks ago. As she walked through the glass doors into the bustling lobby, she felt a mix of excitement and nerves. Employees hurried past her, their conversations filled with technical jargon and project updates. Marissa couldn't help but feel like an outsider, a newcomer stepping into a world where everyone else seemed to belong. But as soon as she approached the reception desk and introduced herself, everything changed. A friendly HR representative greeted her warmly and escorted her to a conference room where she would meet her new team. "Welcome to Tesla," the representative said with a smile. "We're thrilled to have you here." Meeting her team. Marissa's first meeting was with the software development team responsible for Tesla's autonomous driving systems, a cutting-edge project that required expertise in artificial intelligence and machine learning. The team consisted of engineers from diverse backgrounds, each bringing unique skills to the table. As introductions were made around the room, Marissa noticed how welcoming everyone was despite their obvious expertise. They didn't look down on her or question why she was there. Instead, they seemed genuinely interested in what she could bring to the team. "So," one engineer asked during the meeting, "what kind of projects have you worked on before?" Marissa hesitated for a moment before answering honestly. "I used to develop AI algorithms for healthcare systems," she explained. "We focused on predictive models for patient outcomes based on medical data." The room grew quiet as her colleagues processed what she had said. One engineer leaned forward and said, "That's impressive. It sounds like you've worked on some really challenging problems." Marissa felt a spark of confidence ignite within her. For the first time in months, maybe years, she felt like her skills were being recognized and valued. The first challenge. Marissa's first assignment at Tesla was daunting: optimizing machine learning algorithms for real-time decision-making in autonomous vehicles. The task required precision, creativity, and collaboration, all things Marissa excelled at but hadn't practiced in months due to her circumstances. She spent hours poring over code bases and documentation, familiarizing herself with Tesla's systems while brainstorming ways to improve efficiency. At times, she felt overwhelmed by the sheer complexity of the project. But whenever doubt crept in, she reminded herself why she was there: for her children and for herself. Her colleagues were supportive throughout the process, offering guidance when needed, but also giving her space to find solutions independently. Slowly but surely, Marissa began contributing meaningful ideas during team meetings, suggestions that were met with nods of approval rather than skepticism. A breakthrough moment. One afternoon during a brainstorming session, Marissa proposed an innovative approach to optimize sensor data processing, a solution that could significantly reduce latency in autonomous driving systems. Her idea was met with enthusiasm from the team leader, who immediately suggested implementing it in their next prototype. When the prototype successfully passed its initial tests weeks later, Marissa felt an overwhelming sense of pride, not just because her idea had worked, but because it proved that she belonged there. Her colleagues congratulated her warmly after the test results came in. "You've got talent," one engineer said with a smile. "We're lucky to have you on this team." Balancing work and family. While Marissa thrived at Tesla professionally, balancing work and family life remained challenging, but thanks to Elon Musk's support system, it became manageable. The temporary housing provided by Elon's team gave her children stability while allowing Marissa to focus on her career without worrying about where they would sleep at night. Childcare arrangements ensured that Zara, Leo, and baby Tyler were well taken care of during Marissa's long hours at work. Every evening, when she returned home exhausted but fulfilled, she would spend quality time with them, reading bedtime stories or helping Zara with homework. Her children noticed the change in their mother almost immediately. She seemed happier and more confident than ever before. Recognition within Tesla. As months went by, Marissa continued making significant contributions to Tesla's projects, earning respect not only from her immediate team, but also from senior leadership within the company. During one quarterly review meeting attended by executives, including Elon Musk himself, Marissa presented data-driven insights that helped identify key areas for improvement in their AI systems. Her presentation was met with praise from everyone in attendance, including Elon. "You've done incredible work here," Elon said after the meeting concluded. "I knew you'd make an impact." For Marissa, hearing those words felt like validation, not just for what she had achieved professionally, but also for everything she had overcome personally. A new chapter. By now, Marissa had fully integrated into Tesla, not as the woman Elon hired, but as an integral part of their software development team, contributing valuable expertise every day. Her journey wasn't just about rebuilding herself. It was about proving what resilience, determination, and opportunity could accomplish even amidst adversity. A ripple effect begins. This wasn't just a new beginning for Marissa. It marked start ripple effect, inspiring others similar struggles, believe possibilities beyond circumstances. The ripple effect. The story of Elon Musk's act of kindness toward Marissa didn't end with her. What started as a simple gesture, a meal, an offer of a job, and temporary housing, soon grew into something much larger than either of them could have imagined. The ripple effect of Elon's compassion spread far beyond Marissa's life, inspiring countless others and sparking conversations about the power of generosity and the importance of recognizing potential in unexpected places. A story that captured hearts. News of Elon Musk's encounter with Marissa quickly spread across social media and news outlets. The idea that one of the world's most influential entrepreneurs had taken time out of his busy schedule to help a struggling pregnant woman resonated deeply with people around the globe. Headlines like "Elon Musk offers pregnant woman a life-changing opportunity" flooded the internet, accompanied by photos of Marissa holding Elon's business card and smiling through tears. People were moved not just by Elon's generosity, but by Marissa's resilience. Her story, a talented software developer who had fallen on hard times yet refused to give up, became a symbol of hope for others facing similar challenges. Comments poured in from readers who shared their own struggles, expressing how inspired they felt by the idea that someone as powerful as Elon Musk could see value in someone society often overlooked, inspiring others to act. The ripple effect wasn't limited to words of encouragement. Across the country, individuals and organizations began taking action after hearing about Elon's gesture. Some people started donating to shelters and food banks, hoping to make a difference in their own communities. Others reached out to struggling individuals they encountered in their daily lives, offering help or opportunities just as Elon had done for Marissa. One particularly moving example came from a small tech company in Seattle. After reading about Marissa's story, the CEO decided to launch an initiative to hire talented individuals who had faced significant hardships. "We realize there are so many skilled people out there who just need someone to believe in them," he said during an interview. Within months, the company had hired 3 new employees, each with their own story of resilience, and provided them with mentorship and support to rebuild their careers. A nationwide movement. The impact of Elon's act of kindness didn't stop with individual stories. Inspired by what he had done for Marissa, several nonprofits began developing programs aimed at helping pregnant women and single mothers in low-income situations. These programs focused on providing job training, childcare support, and financial assistance, tools that could empower women to create better futures for themselves and their families. Elon himself became involved in one such initiative. Partnering with a nonprofit organization, he helped fund a program that offered scholarships for women pursuing careers in STEM fields: science, technology, engineering, and mathematics. The program was named the Marissa Initiative in honor of the woman whose story had sparked it all. Through this initiative, hundreds of women were able to access education and training that would have otherwise been out of reach. Many went on to secure high-paying jobs in tech companies, breaking cycles of poverty and creating brighter futures for their children. Marissa becomes a mentor. As Marissa settled into her new role at Tesla and began rebuilding her life, she couldn't ignore the overwhelming support she had received from strangers inspired by her story. She decided she wanted to give back, to pay forward the kindness that had been shown to her. Marissa began volunteering at local shelters on weekends, sharing her story with other women who were struggling to find hope amid adversity. She offered practical advice on how to navigate job applications, prepare for interviews, and build confidence despite challenging circumstances. One day at a shelter, she met another pregnant woman named Clara who reminded her so much of herself just months ago. Tired, scared, but determined not to give up. Clara had once worked as a graphic designer, but had lost her job after becoming pregnant and was now living in her car with her 2-year-old son. Marissa took Clara under her wing, helping her polish her resume and prepare for interviews. Within weeks, Clara landed a job at a marketing agency that allowed her to work remotely while caring for her son, a life-changing opportunity that mirrored Marissa's own journey. Changing perspectives. Elon Musk's act of kindness also sparked broader conversations about how society views success and potential. Many people began questioning why it often takes extraordinary circumstances, or extraordinary individuals like Elon, to recognize talent in those who are struggling. Companies started reevaluating their hiring practices, looking for ways to make opportunities more accessible to people facing barriers such as homelessness or lack of childcare. Schools began incorporating lessons on empathy and resilience into their curriculums, teaching students the importance of supporting one another rather than judging based on appearances or circumstances. Even within Tesla itself, Marissa's story became a source of inspiration for employees across departments. Her colleagues often cited her journey during team meetings as proof that perseverance and hard work can overcome even the toughest obstacles. A ripple that keeps growing. Years after Elon Musk first stopped at that diner with Marissa, the ripple effect of his actions continued to grow. The scholarships funded through the Marissa Initiative expanded internationally, reaching women in underserved communities around the world. Nonprofits modeled after those inspired by Marissa's story began popping up in cities across America, creating networks of support for single mothers and pregnant women trying to rebuild their lives. And while Elon himself rarely spoke publicly about what he had done for Marissa, preferring instead to focus on his work at Tesla and SpaceX, the impact of his gesture was undeniable. A reminder that small acts matter. At its core, the ripple effect wasn't just about changing one person's life. It was about showing how small acts of kindness can create waves that touch countless others. Elon Musk didn't set out to start a movement. He simply saw someone struggling and decided to help. But that decision, made during what could have been an ordinary evening, proved that compassion has the power to transform not just individual lives, but entire communities. For Marissa, and for everyone inspired by her story, the lesson was clear. No matter how small or simple an act may seem at first glance, it can spark change far beyond what we imagine. And sometimes all it takes is one person willing to believe in another when no one else does. The lesson. The story of Elon Musk's encounter with Marissa, a pregnant woman begging for food, is more than just a tale of generosity. It's a powerful reminder of the profound impact that small acts of kindness can have on individuals and society. What began as a simple meal and an offer of help turned into a life-changing opportunity, not only for Marissa but for countless others inspired by her journey. At its core, this story teaches us about the transformative power of compassion, the importance of recognizing potential in unexpected places, and the ripple effect that even the smallest gestures can create. Compassion as a catalyst for change. Elon Musk's decision to stop his car that evening and engage with Marissa was not driven by obligation or publicity. It was an act of genuine compassion. In a world often consumed by busyness and self-interest, his willingness to pause and listen to someone in need serves as a powerful example of how empathy can catalyze change. Compassion doesn't require grand gestures or vast resources. It starts with something as simple as noticing someone's struggles and taking the time to care. In Marissa's case, Elon didn't just see a woman holding a cardboard sign. He saw a person with untapped potential, someone who deserved a chance to rebuild her life. This ability to look beyond surface appearances and connect with others on a human level is something we can all strive to emulate in our daily lives. The power of recognizing potential. One of the most striking aspects of this story is Elon's ability to recognize Marissa's talent despite her circumstances. Many people might have dismissed her as just another person down on their luck, but Elon saw her for who she truly was, a skilled software developer with valuable expertise in artificial intelligence. This highlights an important lesson. Potential is everywhere, but it often goes unnoticed because we fail to look beyond stereotypes or preconceived notions. Whether it's in our workplaces, communities, or personal relationships, taking the time to truly see and understand others can uncover talents and strengths that might otherwise remain hidden. For employers, educators, and leaders, this story serves as a call to action. Create opportunities for those who may not fit the conventional mold. By doing so, you not only help individuals thrive, but also unlock innovation and creativity that can benefit everyone. Resilience in the face of adversity. Marissa's journey is also a testament to the power of resilience. Despite losing her husband, her home, and her job, she never gave up on herself or her dreams. Her determination to keep going, even when living out of her car with 3 children, shows that resilience isn't about avoiding hardship. It's about facing challenges head-on and finding ways to move forward. This resilience was key to Marissa's success at Tesla. Once given the opportunity, she didn't just survive, she thrived. She tackled complex coding challenges, contributed innovative ideas, and earned the respect of her colleagues. Her story reminds us that while circumstances may knock us down, they don't have to define us. With perseverance and support, we can rise again. For those facing their own struggles, Marissa's example offers hope. No matter how difficult life may seem, there is always a way forward if you keep believing in yourself. The ripple effect of kindness. Perhaps the most profound lesson from this story is the ripple effect created by Elon Musk's act of kindness. What began as one man helping one woman quickly grew into something much larger, a movement that inspired others to take action in their own communities. The news of Elon's gesture spread like wildfire across social media and news outlets, touching hearts around the world. People were moved not just by his generosity, but by Marissa's resilience and determination. Many were inspired to pay it forward, donating to shelters, mentoring individuals in need, or simply offering words of encouragement to those struggling around them. This ripple effect demonstrates that kindness is contagious. When we witness acts of compassion, we are often inspired to replicate them in our own lives. And while we may never know the full extent of these ripples, how far they travel or how many lives they touch, we can be certain that they make the world a better place. The role of leadership. Elon Musk's actions also highlight an important lesson about leadership. Great leaders don't just focus on profits or products, they invest in people. By giving Marissa an opportunity at Tesla and ensuring her family had the support they needed, Elon exemplified what it means to lead with empathy and vision. Leadership isn't about being perfect or having all the answers. It's about creating environments where others can thrive. Whether you're running a company or simply leading within your community, this story shows that empowering others is one of the most impactful things you can do. Elon's decision to help Marissa wasn't just an act of charity. It was an investment in her potential. And that investment paid off not only for Marissa, but also for Tesla and everyone inspired by her journey. Small acts can create big change. At its heart, this story reminds us that even small acts of kindness can have far-reaching consequences. Stopping at a diner for a meal may seem insignificant in the grand scheme of things, but for Marissa, it marked the beginning of a new chapter, a chapter filled with hope, opportunity, and success. We often underestimate the power of small gestures, holding open a door for someone, offering words of encouragement, or simply taking the time to listen. But these actions can create ripples that extend far beyond their immediate impact. They remind people that they are seen, valued, and supported, and sometimes that's all it takes to change someone's life. As individuals, we may not have Elon Musk's resources or influence, but we all have the ability to make a difference through our actions. Whether it's helping a neighbor in need or mentoring someone at work, every act of kindness contributes to building a more compassionate world. A call to action. The lesson from this story is clear: kindness matters. It has the power to transform lives, not just for those who receive it, but also for those who give it. And while we may never fully understand the impact of our actions, we can take comfort in knowing that even small gestures can create ripples that inspire change far beyond what we imagine. So let this story serve as both inspiration and challenge. Look for opportunities to make a difference in your own life. Whether it's recognizing someone's potential when others don't or simply offering support during tough times, your actions have more power than you realize. Because at the end of the day, what truly separates ordinary moments from extraordinary ones isn't wealth or fame, it's compassion. And sometimes all it takes is one small act of kindness to spark hope and change everything.